Hey everyone, welcome to Wrestling Connection. I'm Johnny D, the Redeemer. Tonight I'm going to be doing my review on last night's Monday Night Raw. Raw opened up with The Authority again. It was Rollins, J&J Security, Big Show, and Kane. And Rollins once again was talking about how dominant he was at WrestleMania and how he's the champ. And Big Show kind of pumped Rollins up, talking about his win at Rollins' win at WrestleMania. And kind of talk about himself too, about how he's the most dominant giant ever because he won the Battle Royal. I like that they're finally doing something with Big Show winning the Battle Royal. I think they should do that a little more often. Maybe actually do something with the Big Show other than just be a guy that beats up whoever Rollins is feuding with. Randy Orton came out and again was like, oh yeah, you may have won the title at WrestleMania, but remember, I beat you. He's like, one of the things he said that I liked was, I performed probably the best RKO of my entire career on you. And then Orton was like, Kane, you should make a match of me and Rollins tonight, Mr. Director of Operations. Kane shot that down and was like, no, tonight, the main event is going to be Orton, Reigns, and Ryback in a triple threat to see who versus Rollins at Extreme Rules. But all three of you will also have matches during the night, and Randy, you're first, facing me. So Kane and Randy Orton went into a match. Wasn't anything great. Kane kind of dominated for a little bit. Randy started to come back and spilled out to the outside. And Kane ended up hitting Randy Orton with a chair, so Randy won by disqualification. Wasn't a special match. It's just kind of there to kind of move the show along. When I first heard that, the three guys in the triple threat were also having matches throughout the night, my initial thought was, great. We're gonna have the same three people multiple times throughout the show. I wasn't into it at first, but as the night went on, I saw they kind of paced it really good. It wasn't like they were shoving these three down our throat. I thought they actually, for once, efficiently used their 3 hours that they were given. After this, we saw a promo between Rollins and Kane backstage. Rollins was kind of saying, oh, Kane, you should step down as Director of Operations, blah, blah, blah. You're not doing your job properly. I should call Triple H and Steph and have you fired, all this kind of stuff. This pissed Kane off. They kind of were butting heads with their words, and because of this, Kane put Rollins into a match. I don't know why they're having them kind of butt heads. Hopefully this means Kane might get the boot from the Authority, and hopefully this will see a return of Masked Kane. Or he doesn't even have to be masked. I just want the return of Kane, Demon Kane. So hopefully that does happen soon. So Rollins goes out to the ring, and turns out his opponent is Neville. This is probably the best match of the whole night. Rollins and Neville definitely have chemistry. They worked off each other really well. Neville was flying all over the place, It was a real give and take match. Both of them had really good points in the match. Really, really good match. Rollins did get the win, but that's after there were a couple close calls with Neville. And just, wow. Really, really good match. Next, we had Cena come out and talk about, I'm doing my challenge still. Who's next to try and take my title? And Stardust came out. This was a surprise because I was expecting it to be maybe more of a bigger name person, and I'm glad that they're having Cena face anybody and everybody. And they had a decent match. Stardust actually got the upper hand a little bit. I thought it was just going to kind of be a Cena beatdown on Stardust, but that's not what happened. And I'm glad, but Cena got the win ultimately. He did do that rope stunner thing. I didn't like that he did it again. I think it should be something he just kind of pulls out every now and again instead of something that's added to his everyday repertoire. But it was a decent match. Interestingly, though, on Twitter, during and after the match, not Stardust, but Goldust was tweeting about the match, and he said, well, I remember one of the tweets was, "Go Cena, beat Cody out of Stardust." And I thought that was interesting that I think Goldust is still trying to carry the feud, even though WWE's not. Hopefully this means that they will be bringing it back here in a little bit, because I really want to see that go on. I want to see closure between Goldust and Stardust, and frankly, I just want to see Goldust more. But yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Next, we had the Bellas versus Naomi and Paige. Right before the match, the commentators briefly talked about AJ Lee retiring. It was a quick throwaway thing. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, AJ Lee retired over the weekend. Yeah, it was over the weekend. She had one quick little tweet, but she hasn't really said anything about it yet. Nothing's been released except WWE said she wishes to retire. We wish her best of luck. You know, her future endeavors. You know, the typical WWE thing. I'm curious as to exactly why. I thought the Divas were actually starting to get good. They're starting to have good matches. Maybe it's not up to what she thought the Divas could be, so she pulled a pumpkin left. I hope that's not the case, because I think if you really want to change something, you need to be there and actively, try and change it. Maybe it could be something simple, like she wants to start a family with CM Punk, so she's like, I'm leaving. Hopefully it's something more like that, something personal, and not some BS that she's just like, I quit. So yeah, hopefully more of that comes out soon, and when it does, I'll let you guys know. But the actual Divas tag match was, it was okay. It was nothing special. Again, we had Brie cost them the match by accidentally hitting Nikki. So I think this is going to lead to a split between the two of them, which is good, because I think they could work better on their own. I think they did better on their own when they did it briefly, right around SummerSlam. But overall, there's nothing special about the match. Naomi's getting kind of a little bit more light, so maybe she'll end up getting a Divas title match here soon. It's good for her. She's really not a bad wrestler. She's really stepping her game up. She's been training hard, training with John. I think John's the Uso that she's married to. Training with him, training harder, just trying to become a better diva. And kudos to her, because it's definitely showing. Next, we have Ryback's match for the night, and he versus Luke Harper. The standout for this match was definitely Luke Harper. For a big guy, he's very athletic. He can move around the ring really good. But he just kind of got squashed by Ryback. It was a quick match, almost like a throwaway match. Pretty much Ryback just dominated and hit him with the shell shock. I don't think that was good for either character. I get they're trying to show, well, Ryback's this big, strong guy, but I mean, that's obvious. I think it would have been better if they did kind of a little more back and forth between the two of them. I think Luke Harper can be something good if they give him the chance. Maybe if they try to retool him a little bit, but he's definitely a good in-ring performer, and he can definitely do a lot more than what they're giving him. The New Day had a promo, and when I was watching it, I thought it was a little weird. It seemed very tongue-in-cheek almost with the things that they were saying. But after watching they ended up having a match after, and watching the match with them, the Lucha Dragons, it's definitely looking like they're going to go heel with them. Thank God. Now, it isn't only the fact that they were, baby faces that made them good. Not good, I mean, they didn't have a lot of character development. So hopefully that's what we're going to get here, and they're going to go heel, and they'll be the group that we wanted originally. The Lucha Dragons had another stellar match. They won. The Lucha Dragons got the win. Another hint, like I said with the New Day, them kind of turning heel. Another hint you saw is Kofi hit, kind of did an illegal hit. I think it was like behind her back, and you can see Woods kind of nodding in approval from the side. So that's definitely look like that's going to be their direction. Reigns' match was versus The Big Show. And this show was this match wasn't that great either. Just because it's two big guys, and those matches usually aren't that great. Big Show moves really slow. He's not the one to set the pace for a match, and unfortunately, that's kind of how it happened. For a majority of it, Big Show was kind of beating up on Reigns, and Reigns was doing the same thing at WrestleMania, where he was just kind of like taking the beating, but still getting up. And eventually Reigns, overpowered Big Show, and I think he hit him with like 3 Superman punches and then a spear to get the win. But yeah, it just wasn't that great of a match. Sheamus then came out and was talking about how everyone in the WWE is tiny. I'm tired of these small guys. I want to face somebody my own size. Really giving a good heel promo, and this brings Mark Henry out. They had again, it was only an okay match. Sheamus got the win. Mark Henry was beating on him a little bit, but Sheamus fought back. It was a quick match. Sheamus fought back and hit him with a bro kick for the 1-2-3, which I knew it was going to happen as soon as Mark Henry came out. It worked for building up Sheamus as a heel. I don't mind that Mark Henry lost. It worked for Sheamus. After that was Miz versus Mizdow. I was kind of shocked that they were doing this match on Raw and not saving it for the pay-per-view. But the way the match turned out, it still gave us something to look forward to at Extreme Rules. Mizdow came out. Well, Miz came out first, and then Mizdow came out. And as Miz was doing his little thing to take off his sunglasses, Mizdow attacked him and just was beating on him. It was pretty much just a back and forth fist fight. It wasn't a lot of holds or moves. They were just beating on each other back and forth. And Miz rolled up Mizdow for a quick pin, and that was it. Like I said, it definitely was leading us into Extreme Rules. It gave us something more to look forward to. Then we had the main event, which was the triple threat of Randy, Reigns, and Ryback. It was a quick match because they didn't have a lot of time left in the show. But while they were fighting, the Authority came out, and first they were just kind of standing there looking on, but eventually Big Show ended up attacking Roman Reigns, and they kind of started to flood the ring, and through the whole chaotic mess that was going on, Randy Orton managed to hit an RKO on Ryback, and I think it was Ryback, and pin him. So it is going to be Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins at Extreme Rules. I'm thinking maybe with the way that Big Show attacked Reigns, they might do them two at Extreme Rules, but I hope not, because, their match earlier was pretty bad. I don't think they're a good match for each other. I think I'd kind of rather either the title match either be a triple threat or a fatal 4-way. Hopefully they kind of either go in that direction or save it for maybe the next pay-per-view or something. I wouldn't be thrilled to see Big Show and Roman Reigns in a match at the pay-per-view. A couple other things that popped up during the show. Primetime Players did an awesome promo. One of the best ones I've seen in a while. They made fun of the New Day again, and then they made fun of the Ascension. They ducked down for a minute and popped back up into the camera with these shooting football pads on with like little street cones taped to them, making fun of the Ascension like they were the Legion of Doom. It was just really hilarious. Darren Young did this thing. It was like, oh, I'm gonna put my face paint on, and it was ketchup, and he's like, oh, it's in my eye, and it was really funny. It actually had me laughing out loud, which surprised me. And Bray Wyatt had a promo. It actually had, when it did the little thing, it actually sat up, and it's just like, okay, here he is. And he did just another kind of vague promo about fear. He was talking to someone, but it wasn't evident who he's talking to. Some people are thinking maybe Sting, some people are thinking maybe Reigns, maybe he might go into a promo with Reigns because he said fear of failure. But at this point, it's really unclear. So I don't know where WWE plans on going with it. But I was just excited that he was back. Yeah, it was just another promo about I'm the new face of fear, and I know what you fear. And, I'm just looking forward to see who exactly he's talking to and who he's going to feud with next, and hopefully whoever it is that he is feuding with, he wins, because he definitely needs it. He hasn't won a big feud in a long time, so he definitely needs this, especially after WrestleMania. So that was Monday Night Raw in a nutshell. It was actually a good Raw. Not as good as last week's, but still pretty good. And like I said earlier, they effectively used their 3 hours, and there weren't times where it felt like it was just dragging and dragging and dragging like it does usually. I still think they should go back to 2 hours, but that's not my call. That's about it. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Leave me your ideas and thoughts, and I'll see you hopefully maybe Wednesday with a top 10. I'll see you then.